It's just kind of conversational. It's real quick. I just want to give y'all something to think about. And it's part of this series that we're going to be starting. And it's really the road to the first 10K. So if y'all don't know me and what we do, I'm going to kind of hop into it as we get rocking and rolling. So let's go ahead. Now, just want y'all to understand something. Listening, watching, everywhere. That those that are anchored to other people's reality will never sail into their own dreams. So those that are anchored to other people's reality will never sail into their own dreams. Now, why do I say that? Right now, the series of content that's about to come out on the podcast, some of it may be on YouTube and mainly over on Facebook, is the road to getting to your first $10,000 month. I can say that now because I've had that. Right now, again, before I hadn't had that. Now I have that, and so it's amazing to be here. But now that kind of get on the other side of it. Right, like it gives you from different perspective on how to look at things. So I'm gonna give you a number of lessons here over the next series of videos, whether it be this week or the coming weeks. But this is the core lesson, and today's lesson is a very, very relevant lesson. And again, folks that don't know me, I'm Justin, founder of AutomationMastery.net, helping coaches and speakers and trainers create automated systems that save you time and generate you more revenue. And what I want to focus on right now is what can we do to get us to that first $10,000 month. So when I speak to coaches and I get on sales calls, the big thing that I hear, I feel is it possible? I had one guy's like, hey, I know you're talking about doing all this stuff, but is it really possible? Like, I need to hear it. I need to feel it. I need to know it. Is it really possible to finally get some things done in business and make some money? I'm here to tell you that it is possible. It is indeed very possible to make money in business. It is indeed very possible to make significant amount. And it is indeed very to have a $10,000 month in your business. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about gross, right? I'm not talking about net. And folks are talking about, is it gross or it's net? I'm talking about gross, right? But even $10,000 gross is a humongous milestone for anyone. It was for me. And I know for the folks listening who are still trying to get there, that idea that they won't have a $10,000 month is still a challenge. But again, it is possible. It is extremely possible. So the first thing I want to talk about today, the first lesson I want to share with you is the discount. Now, today has been a day of all days. It's been a challenge for me in our business. We have a project we're wrapping, and it's been a tough morning, right? Like, it didn't go as smooth as a lot of these, and it's a live event project. So things happen. Right? Things happen. Live events, things happen. Because with live events, unlike, maybe a webinar or something like that, like, it's happening real and anything over will get to the pages, and it's just anything can happen when you have a lot of people getting into one space at one time. So there's plenty of challenges. Human error, technology errors, can we all work through it? Okay? And it was been easy for me in that moment to kind of just release myself to the frustration of the scenario. Now, how does this, I'm going somewhere with this, right? I'm going somewhere with this because that's where I was today, right? Earlier this morning. And so it really aligns where we are right now because crypto, if y'all haven't been following, crypto and even the stock market took a big dip. And so for the average person, they're going to look at all that and say, woe is me. Stuff is happening. Crypto's a lie. Stocks are a lie. Losing all this money. Oh my goodness. Like, life is over. And the same thing happens in the coaching and business creating space. When you start to fail, When you feel like you took that course that didn't get you anything, maybe you got scammed by a coach or a program or a software. That's when everything is woe is me. I need to quit. Like, it's time to shut the doors. Like, it's over. And so it's easy to get into that mindset and that mind frame, right? Like, it's easy to put ourselves there and really feel like that's it. It's over. That's all we can do. That's all she wrote. Like, there's no other solution. It's easy to do that. Beyond easy to do that. But what I want to stress to you all, right? What I want to just really stress to you is, like, it's not over. Like, the world is not over. So, for instance, for today, right? Like, I had to take a moment and sit there and say, like, hey guys, like, so when things are getting crazy, I'm like, hey, look, I know it's been crazy, but we need to take a step back and just breathe. And then I had to remind myself first to breathe. Then take a step back and breathe, because again, there's a lot riding on this project. Okay, and this project by itself, it's a 5-figure project, so a lot riding on it. And so I had to take a step back because I'm starting to freak out, but I realized I can't. And the fact that I've been there, and there's actually opportunity to shine in all these things. So again, once you kind of breathe, you can kind of take control of the scenario, right? You start to write the narrative again. So I had to get on, kind of check back in with clients, say, and all these problems you're saying, this big problem, it's really not a big problem, right? Like, there was one issue and we solved it. The rest of it is human error, or it's stuff that's outside of our control. And so before we all freak out because we think there's this big issue, there's really not. The system's working. These other things are happening because these other places have certain requirements on their networks that are impeding their own ability to access the platform. Right? It has nothing to do with us. So at the end of the day, there's only so much we can do. So we're doing our job. So here's what we need to do: A, B, C, and D. So we broke it down and made a game plan, and now it's okay. Right? And I said, look, this is what we're going to do. It's okay. We adjust. It's okay. And so I learn, they learn, everybody's better off after it. So that's how you're supposed to handle a scenario, right? Just like with your coaching businesses. You can't get any sales. You're not getting any views. People aren't subscribing. They aren't liking, buying your books, going in your webinars. What can you do? How can you step back? How can you adjust in that moment and take a look at the picture? See how I can win from it. Now, what does that have to do with crypto? Because in crypto right now, the prices went down. Everything is in red. And so it's easy to think, again, that life is over. But at the end of the day, what we have to remember, I don't know if I'm frozen right now, but at the end of the day, what we have to remember is, I can hear you, but the picture's frozen. Okay, got that. Yeah, I was adjusting something. It's all right. Good thing is, most of this is really for the podcast. Again, ampodcast.net, by the way, shameless plug. Also, if you need help with automation, go ahead over to automatewithease.com. Again, that is automatewithease.com. So how does this tie into crypto and stocks? Because in crypto and stocks right now, with everything down, everyone thinks it's a bad time for crypto and stocks. I think it's a great time for crypto and stocks because that means everything is on sale, right? It's the time of the discount. And so the money is made, even in real estate, in any investment, the money isn't made at the end. The money is really made when you invest at the discount. And so in your business, if you want to make a $10,000 a month, the time when you invest, when you go in heavy, is at the discount. It is when there's actually a lot of struggle within your business, right? It's actually when things may not be going well. It may be when you think that program you signed up for failed you. It is that moment that things aren't going well and you're at the discount. It is at that moment that you actually get to that breaking point of whether you continue on where you're going, making what you're making, doing what you're doing, having the same level of success, or at the discount in your own life and business when things aren't going well, when stock seems like it's falling, when you don't feel like you're worth much. That's when you invest more. That's when you buy in more. That's when you put in more. That's when you take more share of your life. You take more stock of your life, right? That's when you invest more into yourself. When you're at the lowest and in the discount. Because at that point is when you have the biggest shift, right? That is the point when you make the decision. That's when you get on that sales call with somebody and you say, hey, I know it's going to cost a lot, but I'm going to go all in. That's when you in that program where you're saying, hey, look, I know I think it's a scam, but that's because I just haven't shown up all 4 previous weeks. But this week I'm going to show up full on. I'm going to follow the instructions. I'm going to go all out. This is the point where you watch that video and you say, hey, I watched this video about a month ago, but I'm actually going to go back and take every step of that video. Now at the lowest of the low, that's when I'm going to go all in. It is at that point, at the discount, when you read that book, and instead of just reading it and putting it aside, but you're actually going to go through every step of the book and follow the instructions and actually see what happens at the end. It is in the actually take the time to listen to everybody's step-by-step instruction. Is when you focus in and you release yourself to the process that you've already supposed to commit yourself to. That is when you make the big difference. So I'm not just saying this to be fluffy and motivational. I'm saying this because it is the truth. It is the point at the discount. When you're at the lowest of the low, when things are going the worst. It could have been a death in the family, somebody being sick, you could have lost your money, account may be on red, whatever those things are, car was stolen, you may not be able to pay your electric, whatever it is, at the discount when you go further in. That's when you get the biggest return on yourself, on your effort, on your work, and that's where you really start to make the shift. So if you want to make that first $10,000 month, you want to have a big year, you want to change the trajectory of your business, you want to do more, now is the time to be in. I see that somebody says, I pulled out a Bitcoin. Big mistake. Sorry to say, right? You actually should have bought. And so when stuff crashed, you probably should have bought more. Now, this is not financial advice. It's just when things go on sale on Black Friday, we don't go return stuff to the store because we get less money back. We go to the store and buy more stuff because it's on a discount. The same thing works in stocks. Now, obviously, you got to do some more research, understand where things are going, but it's the same concept. Same concept, right? When things are on a discount, it's not the time to sell out. It's the time to buy more. Do more, be more, invest more. It's at the discount that you make the biggest change. So if you want that $10,000 a month in your business, the key is to buy in at the discount. Been saying this to some folks. The biggest month I had in this business was the worst week that I had all last year. Was the week that I could have just given up. Right? There's a lot of personal stuff going on, like all at one time. And easily could have quit. But it was in that week, sticking to the principles I had already invested in, already had a coach and all that stuff. I went in deeper and harder that week than I did any other week. Best week of the year was the worst week of the year. I was at my personal discount. That's when I really went in. So I'm not saying this just because it's cool to say and I want to sit up on some podium and preach to you. It's really because that's what happened. That's how it worked out. So it was at the worst week that I had the best week. So you got to decide. When you get that week that seems to discount your own value, when you seem like you're down and your confidence gone, are you willing to pour in more? Or are you going to pull out and sell out? Now, there's more to come in this series in terms of the 10K. The next thing we're going to talk about is having your own $10,000 product. Like, what does that actually mean to have a $10,000 product, service, thing that you can offer? And it's not exactly what you may think it is. So let's talk about it. That'll be up next. Okay. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Check us out at Automate with ease.com if you want to get further training on how to automate your business so you can save time and generate more revenue. All right, again, I'm Justin, founder of AutomationMastery.net, here to help coaches, speakers, and trainers create automated systems that save them time and help them generate more revenue. I appreciate y'all, all that you do. Make sure you share this with a friend, a family member, or a foe because they need this information too. I appreciate you and all that you do. I'll see you in the next one, and as usual, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.